What is up, erudites? It's me again, Kim, your midterms tutor for General Biology 1. For this session, we'll be tackling the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, specifically their differences. Let's begin. First, we need to know where these two words come from. First, we have the prokaryotic. The prokaryotic comes from the Greek words pro, meaning before, and karyon, meaning not or kernel, referring to the nucleus. Next, we have the eukaryotic, which also comes from the Greek words eu, meaning true, and karyon, meaning not or kernel. Next, we're going to determine the difference in organelles between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. In prokaryotes, they don't have membrane-bound organelles. However, they do have unique structures such as the pili, mainly used for DNA transfer, the fimbriae, shorter, more numerous, and adhere cells to the surface. Nucleoid region, the nucleus counterpart, as the eukaryotes has a nucleus, and this is basically yung region kung nasan yung nucleus counterpart. Next, we have the capsule, which provides an extra layer of protection, and the plasmids, the tiny circular DNA. Next, in eukaryotes, they contain unique membrane-bound organelles. Some have centrioles that are very important in cell division, while some have plasmodesmata, which serve as an intercellular connections in plant cells. Next is the difference in genetic material. In prokaryotes, the genetic material is simpler and less complex. It is a short, double-stranded circular loop of DNA in the nucleoid region. The DNA supercoils to form a chromosome which does not involve proteins. In eukaryotes, they also have double-stranded DNA. However, the forms of the two are different. In eukaryotes, the form is very long and linear, and it is located inside the nucleus. It is coiled around histone proteins, and it has two regions, which are the non-coding regions, the introns, and the coding regions called the exons. Next will be the difference in ribosomes. The ribosomes are present in all cells, composed of RNA and proteins. However, the difference is that the ribosomes in prokaryotic cells are smaller than the eukaryotic ones. Next is the difference in size and complexity. In prokaryotes, they are generally smaller and all microscopic. The smallest organism are about 200 to 300 nanometers. The largest naman is 100 to 300 micrometers. Almost all of the prokaryotes are unicellular, but some are colonial or filamentous. In eukaryotes, the smallest are measured zero point 0.8 micrometer, while the largest, or the blue whale, is 33.6 billion nanometers. Most eukaryotes are multicellular, but others are unicellular, such as the yeasts and the amoebas. Cells of different shapes and forms can also be found in the eukaryotes. Last, we have the difference in reproduction. In prokaryotes, they usually reproduce asexually through the process of binary fission. Also, the three main forms of gene transfer for bacteria in prokaryotes are the conjugation, transformation, and transduction. In eukaryotes, they usually reproduce both asexually and sexually. Asexual reproduction rather, can take different forms, such as budding in yeasts or fragmentation in sea stars. Now, we have the overall difference between a prokaryotic cell and a eukaryotic cell. We'll begin first with the prokaryotic cell. The prokaryotic cell has no membrane-bound organelles. Its DNA is short and circular. It has no introns or exons. It has a smaller ribosome. It is generally unicellular. Its organisms are usually smaller and less complex, and its cells usually undergo asexual reproduction. On the other hand, in the eukaryotic cell, its organelles are membrane bound. Its DNA is long, linear, and wrapped around histone proteins located in the nucleus. Its DNA has introns and exons, or the non coding regions, and coding. regions. It also has a larger ribosome, generally multicellular, and its organisms are usually larger and more complex and undergoes sexual reproduction usually. And that ends our discussion on prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Why is this important, you may ask? This is important since learning the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells is fundamental to understanding biology and has practical applications in medicine and research. This distinction helps us categorize all living organisms and provides insights into their structure, function, and evolution. Anyway, thank you for listening. See you next time, erudites.